The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corporation.
Hey, welcome to SinCityBounty.com. Episode 299.
What the fuck?
299.
Wow. I really, honestly can swear on a stack of somebody else's Bibles that I never thought I would make it to 299.
She's only here because I twisted her. I literally twisted her arm.
That is the absolute truth. And I remind her every time she tells people that I'm still on the fence.
No, you're not. She's an all-in kind of girl, just like me.
Till I burn out.
I've only been here for 100 of them.
Yeah, because you started with the 200th episode.
Yeah.
I did. It was the very first lap I sat on for show purposes. Was at the 200th episode.
It was Luis De La Torre.
De La Torre from the Geek Lounge.
The Geek Lounge.
Which I have not heard back from them yet, whether they're going to make an appearance on our fabulous 300th episode.
They better be there.
Airing live on Sunday night. Sunday night, if you're local or if you live within a couple of hours, you should drive to town. 5 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be broadcasting live from the Old School Brewery. And they have fabulous craft beers along with a full bar and
food.
There'll be lots of fat girls there. So
we've been hearing a little bit about the food tonight, so I have to tell you I'm kind of excited about that part.
Yeah.
I mean, the show part's great. I'm excited about that.
When you lead in with they have great pizza and tater tots, you know I'm fucking there.
Right.
And
Come on, Johnny.
Does anyone? I don't think they
the
have.
best tomato basil soup this side of Italy.
Nice.
And it makes an awesome dip for the tots.
Nice.
So you get the tots with the tomato basil soup, dip the tots in the soup.
We're such fat girls. It's not even funny.
I love tomato basil soup.
What happened earlier today? I thought, somebody was attacked by an olive tree.
Shaun of the Dead, our new board operator, was attacking an olive tree, and he's highly allergic. And so he mentioned that he survived an olive tree, and Fatty over here goes, I love the Olive Garden.
No, I said I love the olive tree because I completely forgot it was the Olive Garden,
Right.
but my mind went right to food, so.
Pasta. I almost died today. I've eaten there before. It's great.
So I'm sure that you guys follow us on Facebook, and I know that you know that Desiree, former co-host of the show, will be there on Sunday. Brandy, original fashionista, will be there on Sunday, and she'll be bringing her rock and roll, heavy metal,
Internet asshole,
husband, boyfriend, Jason Constantine.
whom we love.
I just listened to his brand new song that he has out.
Amazeballs.
It's great.
Yeah.
Absolutely great. We have Calypso, original show host OG. OMG. And she has missed doing the show. She is so excited. We may have to actually physically wrestle her to take the mic away from her when she gets it, just so you know.
Can we throw some Jell-O pudding in on that, and I'm good. Oh, look, I got Johnny Fever in this one now.
Oh, yeah. So we're really excited that she's going to be there. I'm serious, but I am serious, ladies. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to wrestle the mic away from her once she gets a hold of one. So
Drop the bows.
yeah, and then there's another radio show here in town called Lipstick Service.
She is getting your boobs. It is all boobs.
Service. And Gina and Lauren, the two hosts of that show, will also be there. We're very excited that they'll be coming as well. So,
Did Plush the Nightclub confirm?
I have not got an okay to advertise. Jacob from Plush the Nightclub did say he was coming, but that he would be happy to be there. But I did not get a confirmation that I could make a little advertisement to say Jacob's going to be there. But I'll tell you something. If it wasn't for Jacob and Plush the Nightclub, we never would have started doing remotes. That was our very first remote.
I would have never met my boyfriend.
You would have never met your boyfriend, right?
Who can't hear the show right now because we don't have...
I'm broadcasting audio.
Okay.
Technical issues
Sorry.
again.
No, I have no technical issues. I'm broadcasting
Okay.
with audio.
Okay. I forgot where I was. Oh, Plush the Nightclub. Jacob. Please come. And Katie, if you're in town, which I don't think you are, you're so busy. That woman is a woman of the world.
And yeah, she's normally not here.
Yeah.
I don't think she's in town right now.
She lives in Oregon, Washington.
She lives in the
somewhere there.
Northwest.
Yeah, somewhere up there.
Where it rains a lot and there's Starbucks.
Anyway, we are so excited. We've got giveaways. We've got stuff to give away. Did we ever check the dates of those condoms, if they're expired or not?
Nope, condom crapshoot.
So we're so happy. So please join us on Sunday. Keep an eye on our Facebook and our Twitter for the invites, and we'll throw out reminders. We should, you know what? I should make a thing on our Facebook for you to sign up for texting. You know, where you can just text everybody to let them have announcements. You know, we could do it like every night before the show that we're getting ready to go live. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll do something like that. Maybe I'll figure something like that out. Oh.
Sorry.
Oh.
Just doing an extreme titch close up.
Oh. All right. So let's talk. What are we talking about? Oh, you need to tell a story.
About?
I don't know. What's going on in your life?
Oh, I got a really big thing happening Sunday night. I am working on market development and some research in marketing for a new product that my company wants to put out. And this requires me to spend 4 hours a day playing Facebook games.
Jealous.
Market research. It's research.
If we could all get paid to play video games on our phones.
No, I was playing on my computer at work.
Oh.
Sanctioned to be on Facebook.
That's cool
playing
too.
video games. I was super stoked about that.
What have you been doing? I know that your boyfriend has been out of town for quite a while.
He's should be back soon.
What have you been doing with yourself?
Well, in case you were watching our Facebook on Saturday, you happen to know that the #1 site that I visit on my Chrome on my phone, because I use Google on my phone, is Xhamster. You know how Chrome will pull up like your most visited sites, and depending on which browser and which IP address you're signing in from. The one from my phone, the first 3 are porn sites.
Yep.
One of them, the very first one, is Xhamster.
Oh.
Shameless plug.
Have you made your
I do.
porn Tumblr?
I do. I have a porn Tumblr, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a few good things on there so far, so I just need to
Do you get
add
the furry
to
porn on
it.
there yet?
The only furry one I found was cartoon, and I don't want the cartoon one.
Right.
Oh.
When you finally come across a furry picture, just click on notes, because there'll be like 1,000-something notes, and then go through all those people, because most of those people will be furries as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you find more people to follow.
Okay.
Also, on the Discover option or whatever it is that Tumblr has, because I know they all have one, based on the ones you follow now, they'll give you new ones, and sometimes they're really goddamn good. Plus, if they do the little hashtags on them, just click on the hashtags on the ones
No.
you really
Well,
like.
It doesn't work.
I hate
No?
though. Here's
You
what,
cannot search for porn words on Tumblr.
No.
Yes, you can.
It doesn't give you results.
NSFW.
You have to take off the safe search.
I did that.
Oh,
I
well,
did that too.
let me show you what my Tumblr does.
Anyway.
I did the same thing. I had someone show me, and I took off the safe search.
Right.
But what the problem is as you know, as I'm scrolling through, and I'm like, all right, we're getting to the good stuff. There's a fucking ad.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm like, it
sexy,
is-
sexy,
Yeah.
sexy cake. Sexy.
Or a car or something like that.
Right.
Right. So I think you posted earlier this week about scrolling through your Tumblr, your porn Tumblr,
Yes.
and coming across like a Disney Little Miss Mermaid, photo crop or something like that. And you're like, what the fuck is this doing with my porn?
Like, look, I just went from a naked, old erotic butt to a Converse ad.
Converse ads.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I get those too.
So yeah, and I put out apologies every now and then. It's very rare when I go on my Tumblr porn now, but when I do go on there, I put out apologies. I'm sorry if I'm not following you back. It's because you post other things besides porn.
That's kind of furry. He's waving his tail.
That is not the same. It's like he has a dog out in the hallway.
Yeah, my porn Tumblr has to be pure porn.
Yeah,
Just like my non-porn Tumblr.
Oh no, it really is.
My non-porn Tumblr cannot have any porn on it.
I love
either,
this guy.
So.
Well, I know you had said something to me during the week about surfing Pinterest for porn, and I'm like, hey, I don't get my recipes off Tumblr, so. But yes, I've discovered that if you'd like to help me build my collection on there, I'll be more than.
Your Pinterest?
No.
Your Tumblr.
On Tumblr.
I will give you my Tumblr porn name. So.
Okay, and
Which
then I'll
is
just follow.
No one will ever guess it. What is this?
I searched for cock, and I got porn.
Mine's probably my actual full name. I don't think I was very creative. Or it might be like Doxy's porn. I don't know what it is, but
I should change it to no, I can't change it to Alexia's porn because too many people know who I am.
right.
Oh.
My username is go here when you're horny. Like I'm just not very original.
Huge dick.
That's funny.
Oh yeah.
Sarah's checking out porn on her Tumblr.
I am. Look at how big her dick is.
She's so pretty too.
She's gorgeous, and it's a huge cock.
Do you know who she reminds me of? Phoebe from Friends. Of course, I've been doing Friends binging, so.
She reminds me more of like a West Side Story chick.
No, she looks like Karina Schmierkowski from Dancing with the Stars.
I don't watch that show.
Me neither.
I did watch The Voice this week, though.
Did you?
The Voice is bad.
I normally love The Voice, but
It's Miley Cyrus and Alicia Keys, along with Blake and Adam.
Oh.
You need to stop scrolling through your porn so we can actually do a show.
Okay.
Oh.
See? Well, maybe not.
So, do we have a commercial to go to? Do we have a commercial to go to?
Cocks, rocks, and blocks. Sorry, porn break.
So, I'm sorry. Where were we?
Porn.
So, do you plan on showing your Tumblr to future guys that you might be dating?
So that they know what you're into porn-wise.
When you get to that point, because that's the whole
Maybe.
purpose. That's like one of the main things that you can do is when you start dating a guy and you get there to that point where, okay, maybe I can have a relationship with this guy.
This is why I love FetLife. Because literally you get to check off the things that you like, and so when guys are like, hey, what are you into? And you're like, dude, there's a list. Like, I don't even got to talk to you. Like, you just read the list. You got 5 things in common easy for message me.
Yeah, a list is one thing because I could put on that list hairy cocks, right? Hairy cock area. But nobody would actually know how much I love the hair in the cock area unless they go on my Tumblr where I have picture after picture after picture after picture of these rat's nests.
So I guess that's kind of a good idea.
Yeah.
That makes it a little easier.
Yeah.
You're like,
Okay.
So-
although I learned I did learn a big lesson this week in the whole online dating thing. So which I'll share when we're done here.
no, share now, please.
You don't want to share it on the air?
Oh no! I mean I'll share on the air when we're done.
we're done.
We're done.
Okay.
It's Tumblr porn.
So
Everybody's got a Tumblr porn.
So I realized, and I had
Fetishes. There is my list.
that does make it nice and easy if you can just give somebody the list.
Yeah, but you
So-
can't tell what you're more into. Which
Sure.
one's your list? The one on the left or the one on in the middle?
The big one here with
That
all the
is
links.
a big fucking list.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, woman!
So it's everything to do with it, receiving, everything to do with it, wearing, everything to do with it, everything to do with it, everything to do with it.
She has
everything-
pantyhose / stockings on there.
I do. I think it's super sexy when I have on a pair of thigh highs and a guy's banging me. I love that.
Is that considered? I mean,
It can be, but then there's
when is the
also.
last time you had on a pair of pantyhose?
But then there's also. Oh no, not that cock.
What?
This guy. Nope, that's not him
I
either.
realize nobody can actually see what's going on here.
Right. And you don't want to. Well, we wouldn't be allowed to. We get kicked off
Right, we
YouTube
would get
and
kicked
Facebook.
off.
Yeah,
I
be
know
careful.
some of these people.
Yes, you do. So this is one of my favorite dudes. He's into totally like...
Oh, that's a dude wearing pantyhose.
Yes. And masturbate. It's kind of hot.
No, it's not.
I'm weird. I can't help it.
You know what I think? You know what I think is hot is men in women's underwear. Like, but it's got to be like super frilly, you know, with red
One
lace.
ball hanging out, one big hairy thing just flopping.
And that's only kind of sexy for like the first 2 minutes maybe.
Right.
And then take those puppies off and fuck me. But
I had a friend who was into it, and so he would always go, I want to know how these look. And so he would send me his panty pics, and it was cute. Like, it was hot, maybe the first couple. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that is kind of hot. And then after a while, I'm like, you got how many pairs of Victoria's Secrets? No, I don't want to see all 12. Like, we're good. I got
Thanks.
the idea already.
thanks.
Let's just assume they all look cute.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
So funny.
But so I realize I have to be a little bit more specific. You know, as everybody knows, of course, I'm dating, and I've shared a story or two. But I had a little bit of not an incident, but I had something happen this week, and it was different for me. I'm very cautious. We discussed this last week after the show.
Right.
Where I was explaining that I don't just run out and meet people. Like,
Right.
I have this irrational fear of being murdered. And
So it's like, hey, let's meet. Okay, doesn't work for you?
no, it doesn't. And so, I mean, I actually even thought about it this week, where I'm going to send you guys all of my information should anything ever happen.
Right.
So you can clear my porn.
We've done that.
And yes,
We've
and you can, go in and clear out drawers full of accessories and all of that.
A date
So-
never starts until we meet at one place where they can meet all my friends too. And
Right.
Yeah.
Or when I very first started dating, Sierra would make me text a picture of them. When I would arrive there, she's like, you let me know when you arrive. And she's like, then you sneak your camera, you take a picture, and you send it to me so I know what they look like and where you're at.
And then I can do voodoo magic on them.
Exactly. So anyway, I'm a lot more cautious. We were talking about that. You would just go out and meet. It's a bar. It's
to
coffee,
me,
not a
I
big
need to
deal.
meet them first, and then we can spend time on texting or messaging or whatever.
I'm about halfway between the two. Like, I want to have a little conversation before we meet because I want to make sure that I don't want to waste my time driving all the way to the bar just to find out that you're a total fucking wasteoid.
Yeah, well, I don't want to waste my time sitting there talking to some asshole on the internet
Well, I could be talking-
when more than likely he's not going to be the guy that he says he is on the internet.
Well, I'm not talking like let's have a 3-week relationship and then meet. I'm like, let's have like a day of conversation, maybe 2, and we'll see if we get along.
Well, no, that's perfectly fine. I'm good with a day of conversation, maybe 2. What is your acceptable length of conversing via text or
I mean,
message?
I don't jump out at a day or 2. I
About
think
a week?
it just depends. Yeah, I think it just depends where my comfort level is. But what happens is most guys immediately are like, give me your number, let's talk. And I don't want to do that.
Right.
I don't. I just don't. So I'm like, if you're cool with it, let's talk on here for a bit. And then move on
Right.
to that. And it could literally just be like an hour or so or whatever, just so I feel a little bit comfortable.
Right.
But,
All of a sudden, last week it was like 6 months to a year.
no, it was never 6 months. I've only been divorced like over a year.
She's only been dating for a couple of months now.
So, okay, so anyway, so I started talking to this guy, and it seemed it was pretty normal, and it was like another, and this guy's probably listening, so what's up? Because I feel it's easier than explaining I'm a little pervy to just direct them to the show. It's so much easier than, just saying, like, I say fuck and twat a lot and talk about masturbating with my...
And I want you to eat my vagina while I watch gay porn.
Right, and I've touched her vagina. Like, it's just so much easier just saying, watch the show.
Go watch the show.
And then if you're still interested, let's talk. So anyway, but it seemed like pretty cool. Like, I kind of prefer dads just because they understand my schedule and that busyness and all of that. And so this gentleman, he's a soccer dad at that. So like we're talking, teams and this and that, and I don't give my daughter's team away. But
no, because the last thing you want is some pervert showing up.
Right, showing up.
Oh God.
Right. So I don't get too specific, but many people have no problems with that. So I'm like, oh yeah, I know that team, I know that coach, and blah blah blah, and it seemed perfectly normal. And then we talked a little bit about what we're into, and then all right, this is cool, and everything was fine. It was a totally normal conversation. And then immediately he's like, by the way, I have to let you know. And then he started. And then it continued from there. Like there were a lot of different things that he was really into, which I don't have an issue with, but like maybe back off a little. Like maybe filter them out to me a drop at a time. And so it really came to the point where I'm like, hey, dude, let me just tell you, I'm going to be honest here. I said I need to back off a little bit. Like, let's just stop talking for a moment. Let me process what we've discussed. I don't necessarily know that this is something that I have an interest in participating in. And so he didn't respect what I said, and immediately he started sending me photo after photo after photo, including my favorite, the one with him sucking someone's dick with jizz on his face. So
I think Shaun of the Dead's a little spooged out at the moment.
This is the reason why I take a minute or two to maybe vet someone a drop.
Yeah, because when you're like, oh, I'm into this and this and this, and then they drop the bomb, like, well, I want you to do a Cleveland steamer. You know what a Cleveland steamer is, right? We're like, I'm into Cleveland steamers. You're like, well, give me a minute.
And that, well...
This is why I said, are you sure you want to meet someone from the internet?
Yeah, but my other choice is I work from home, so I can date my cats. I mean, that's cool. Many women do it.
Aren't there any single soccer dads?
No. I swear to goodness, I'm the only single mom on her last soccer team and this one.
Check your mail naked.
Oh, that's a great idea. I live in a very family-oriented neighborhood.
Stepford Village.
Yeah.
Make more money than nobody will say anything.
Maybe. Yeah. That's true. So as I'm walking naked, I'll fling dollar bills out to the neighbors. So I ended up, I told this guy, like, hey, I think I'm cool talking for now. And he kept coming back like, no, what's wrong? No, what's wrong? And so finally I'm like, listen, I was very honest and upfront with you that you were overwhelming me a bit with what we were discussing, and I'm not judging you for it, but I'm saying that I'm just saying that I needed a moment to process. And then immediately you sent me multiple photographs, and I wasn't even in a place where I could, really, I had my child nearby. And so it kind of sucked. So that's it, but I let him know why, and that was that. So soccer dad, you were kind of cool until the jizz photo. And then
jizz on the face.
Yeah.
Why?
And it was mixing in with his eyeshadow, which was really bothering me because there's so many other places you could put it that doesn't mess up your makeup. So
the two guys in the room just lost it. They're either busting a gut over here or they're vomiting into their shoes, one or the other. That's great.
So I understand that dick pics and even jizz on face photos are par for the course when it comes to the internet and internet dating.
Right.
I just don't understand. I don't understand. Too many women must react positively.
I do
because men keep doing it.
In your sphere of influence, of the 100% of the women you know who have received a dick pic, have any of those women ever been like, that did it for me.
Not up front. But how do we know that even Toxie didn't pick up her phone and go, maybe I'll call him later. Do you know what I mean? Because if we go your libertarian route and capitalistic society, if no women are responding to these kinds of solicitations, then why are the men still doing it? It would fade out.
There's three.
Wouldn't it?
There's 3 letters that explain that. MEN.
Obviously, I do get that they have to have some level of effectiveness. For me, I don't mind a dick pic if I know. Like, if you say, hey...
You want to see my dick? Sure.
Then if you want to send it, I'm not going to turn you down. But I just don't get the whole, like, hey, we've never spoke before, here's my schlong. Like, or...
hey, dick! Oh, nice. No, thank
or what
you.
I normally get, like, the big one I get is, you have beautiful eyes. Dick? Like...
It's like, giant tits! Exclamation point, exclamation.
Right.
And then they send me tiny little penis.
When you send it, if you first try to connect with somebody, do you immediately start with, here's a picture of my tits?
No, but it probably would
You
net
probably
you far
would
more
work.
dates.
And not for me.
Maybe
It
that's
will negate the process.
Maybe men are on a rampage of dick pics because they believe that at some point they will wear us down to the point where we will just be reactionary and send them pictures of our vaginas. Just you fucking click vagina pic.
That was like an angry vagina pic.
Guys will take angry vagina,
pic.
right? Guys will take angry vagina. Johnny won't.
Depends on how angry.
He's classy.
Like, are we
He's a
talking
classy
teeth kind of
motherfucker.
angry?
Put a red filter on that fucker.
Have you seen that movie with the vagina with teeth in it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy.
What did you... I just meant to write the hashtag that you just said, and it slipped my mind. It wasn't dick pic, it was...
Angry
Angry
vagina.
vag pic. Angry vag
vag
pic.
It's a numbers game.
Yeah.
If you send out enough of them, maybe somebody will say, "Oh, cool."
Yeah. You know, it's like
It's a timeshare.
So-
it's
Here's
just
the whole
like
thing.
passing out flyers out on the strip. Eventually, one lonely dude's gonna be like, "Oh, maybe I'll call that number."
But here's
I
the
like
thing.
angry vag.
At some point... At some point, why not just ask? Like, do you want to see it? Yes, no, no. Okay, let's
I'm going
That
to
would be
about
like
something else.
that would be like asking swimmers to not be rapists and liars.
That's true.
I'm going to assume that the men who send these dick pics and other genitalia or face jizz pics or whatever are not looking for anything serious.
No.
They're looking to get laid, wham-em, bam-em, whatever. What's the term now?
Although their profile will always say, "I'm not into drama. I'm looking for a real woman.
Right.
I want something fun, but I want a commitment," or some shit like that. And they're like, "Yeah, dick pic." I'm like, "'Cause that'll net you a quality check." You want to talk about the other one?
Which one?
Creepy stalker grandmaster level.
Creepy stalker grandmaster level.
Hashtag
yes, I do
that
have
shit.
to write that.
That's her.
Right.
Who, me?
Her.
Yeah, that's her.
She is the grandmaster level.
No, that's not her. That's a dude.
Oh.
Creepy grandmaster stalker level.
Oh, I thought you stalked him.
No. Well, I did.
No, I'm sorry. No, wait.
To look.
Researched him.
I did.
Researched him.
Because
After he was creepy stalker.
Right. So I had another gentleman. I try to sometimes, like, it depends on, how I'm feeling. Because sometimes if you reject somebody and say, like, hey, I just want to respond, I'm not interested. I don't think this would be a good match. Many guys get very angry and mean.
Belligerently.
Very mean.
They do get mean. And actually, a couple of ladies today, this week, just this week that I know, that we're really close to, both of us, posted their screenshots of the texts of the guys turning into assholes because they've been
They
rejected.
get very mean. Or if you choose not to respond at all, then you get some guys who will keep going. And they're like, are you not going to answer? I said I thought you were pretty. Do you not want to talk? And then they'll keep going. So I had this gentleman who he was a little bit of an older gentleman, and he he sent me a message, and he's like, you're beautiful. I'd love to get to know you, and here's my number. Call me now. And so, like, this was immediate.
Call me now.
And I'm like, hey, I don't really think this is a good match. And also, just for future reference, like, maybe wait on that for a moment and let somebody introduce themselves back, and then throw your number out. And so it continued, and he kept going, but
the thing is, like, she showed me these messages, and it was like the same message, just 2 or 3 words changed over and over and over and over and over and over, and I was like, dude, that's a catfisher. That's not even a real person. And she's like, no, I've seen his Facebook page. He's a real person. And he's like this on his Facebook page too. And I'm like, woo, you dodged a fucking bullet there.
Right. Well, and he kept going. I continue to say, like, I'm not interested. And he's like, but you're so beautiful. I think you would make a really great girlfriend. And then when I was not receptive to that, then he felt he would guilt me. And then he's like, I get this reaction. No girls want me, and they tell me I'm lovable. I'm not lovable. They tell me I'm ugly, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but I don't know what more to say. And finally, it got to the point at the end where I'm like, I responded politely now, but I can only be nice for so long. And again, I said, you haven't respected what I'm telling you. I was nice in telling you I wasn't interested. I could have just ignored the messages.
Right.
And then I let you know why. I was very specific as to why. And you still continued, and you still continued. Unfortunately, this is not a match.
Maybe it has less to do with your butterface and more to do with your fucking weird stalkery tendencies. I mean, the fact that I believe myself to be an accomplished internet dater, because I did a lot of it, I would have just immediately written that guy off as not a real person because of how persistent and repetitive and redundant. See, repetitive, redundant.
And I thought, but when I read it, my thought was, like, this is some guy who signed up for this dating site, and it was a site that you pay to be on. And so I'm like, he paid his money. He kept going, like, my membership expires then, so reach out to me prior if you're interested. And I'm like, and he's obviously not having luck, so I feel kind of bad. And so that's why I continued kind of responding to him. And then as they became, like, a little bit sadder, where he's like, no girls like me and everything, I still felt bad. But then finally at one point I'm like, all right, enough is enough. But I did. I found his Facebook, and even on there he's like, going somewhere, and I just wish I had a girlfriend to go with me. And so I feel kind of bad for him, but I'm not it.
Internet dudes come in 3 levels. They come in poor, sad, lonely me, and why don't you like me, and I'm going to try to guilt you into it. They come in, hi, here's my dick. And then they also come in, hi, here's my dick. Oh, sorry, you're not interested in that? You're a fat fucking cow. Like, that's the 3.
That is my favorite.
That is so wild. They know that you're fat.
Right.
They hit on you, and when you finally reject them, they call you a fat bitch.
Right. Yeah.
You fat cow,
That's
you
the
should be
best.
lucky I showed any interest in you at all.
Right.
Motherfucker, I could walk into any bar and walk out with any dick I want. I don't need yours.
Too funny.
Just saying.
Yeah. But no, she's absolutely right. Like, when they that's the first thing they go for when they get angry. Well, you're fat and ugly anyway. I'm like,
You're like,
thanks, dude.
Yep.
I'm so fat and ugly, like, you reached out to me, but all right, it's cool.
I'm too fat and ugly to slob your knob. That's for goddamn sure.
Too funny.
Can we lighten it up a little bit?
Yeah.
I want to talk about Careless Morgan. She's an Instagram fucking amazing fatty. She's going to be mad at me, I'm certain. Everyone's going to be mad at me for calling her a fatty. She's this adorable chubby girl who does these irreverent makeup tutorials.
Oh! I love her!
Her name is, she's on Instagram at Careless Morgan.
I know who you're talking about.
A lot of people...
The first one was cute and adorable.
I think they're all cute and adorable.
The rest were...
They're all the same, but they're super cute and adorable. And she has an amazing singing voice.
Right. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Anyway, she's super cute.
She's good at makeup. Like,
She's
even
great
though
at makeup.
she's, she's like, I got some CoverGirl and some some
NYX.
NYX.
Yeah.
And
And then,
like,
no,
"Can
not
put
really. I
some
got
in
this at Sephora.
Right.
Yeah, and
she's
she's
like, I
like,
don't even know.
Maybe
It's
some
$1 at
CVS.
Target.
Yeah. So even though, that's what she's doing, it still comes out very beautiful. But I feel like her first one probably was genuine. And then she's like, oh, man, this shtick works. And so...
I think she's adorable. Keep it up, Careless. Although I would like to see an actual
Wait,
makeup.
what's her name again?
Well, her Instagram name is Careless
Yeah, her
Morgan.
Instagram.
So
Careless.
I don't know. I would like her to see an actual makeup tutorial and not like the goofy ones that she's been doing.
But the
With
goofy
her saying
ones, but the
goofy
goofy
attitude.
ones are the reason people are watching.
Right.
Well, I think if she did a real one with her goofy attitude, it would be just as fabulous.
There are plenty of YouTubers. I'm an Asian woman with Asian eyes, that fold over the top of my eyes. So I have watched like a million videos on how to do Asian eyes.
Yeah, you put your eyeliner
And
up here.
Every single one tell you the same exact thing, right? That big, deep eyeline thing. So fuck it, I just do how I do it. There are plenty of comedians on YouTube that have a YouTube channel, are very successful. I can't remember her name. She was hired by the Nightly Show that just got canceled, but she's an activist. Anyway, she's hilarious, and her career comes from that. She could, if she does them right, if she does the right topic on all the time, then she's gonna do great.
Yeah.
And she doesn't ever have to do a real makeup tutorial.
She's funny. She's got a great little singing voice. She's got an adorable little squishy face. I just want to squish it.
She is a little bit of a fatty. She's a cutie.
She's a cutie fatty.
But we love fatties.
She's cute and she's funny. And I mean, I enjoyed the first one. The first one I was like, oh, this is amazing. And then I actually just watched one today, and I'm like, you're still cute and adorable, honestly, but I don't know. There's got to be more to it.
Yeah, there does have to be a little bit more.
A little bit more content, a little less repetitiveness.
Right.
Did we just talk about repetitiveness and redundancy?
We did.
Right.
It's full
But
circle.
in your YouTube videos, you got to do it too. I mean, I guess I see the point, because there's so many women out there who do the makeup tutorials. How do you set yourself apart?
Right.
So she's in now. Now she has kind of set herself apart. Now she's got to continue to build that audience so they don't find what she has done to be
Right.
repetitive. So
Real makeup tutorial.
as
With your same
we
goofy self.
say this, go to our YouTube page at Sin City Bounty.
I want to give a shout out to a couple people. Number one is Vendetta.
Yay, Vendetta.
Vendetta, we love Vendetta. If you're watching our current new videos, the last month or so, there's this little laser thing at the very front of them that Johnny Fever has wonderfully spliced onto our videos, and Vendetta made that for us, and we love him for that.
It's amazing.
Right, and he's been texting me or Facebook messaging me most of the week and sending me stuff, which I love. He has also on our chat said that he is now going to grow his rat's nest. He's just going to completely throw away the razor now. Thank you, Vendetta.
Wait,
Well, we've been trying to get his happy ass out here for years.
Right.
his pubes or his chest?
pubes.
Where are you? But
His
you
pubes.
indicated the
I know.
chest.
I moved. I had to move because my belly was in the way. So, because
Vendetta, can you do half and half? Because we're not all.
that's true. So
No.
he should do
Put
the
it into
airport strip.
cornrows. No, just
Ooh,
cornrow
cornrows
it.
would be cool. But I like to run my fingers through it. Right? So that's my favorite thing.
Fluff it up a
so
little
if
bit.
you do the little airport strip, then there would be smoothness on the sides for and you can keep the balls. You can completely clear those if you want, because if I plan on sucking on your balls, I don't want to hear my teeth.
Do them however you want. That would make that happen, because I didn't realize that was part of any plan.
Keep
I
the
just
tea
thought
bag clean.
visually.
if he is going to allow me to run my fingers through them, then it's going somewhere. I'm just saying. I'm not going to just randomly run my fingers through some guy's pubes.
Yeah, it's not
Or
like
nothing.
she's not going to
Why
chase a
not?
snake in a bush for nothing.
That's right. No, you know. What is it? A bird in the hand?
I said a snake in a bush, but
Snake in
yeah,
the bush.
one-eyed trouser snake.
So just so we know what it's like being together with you, once your hand goes in the bush, it's done.
If
like
my
it is
if my
happening.
hand makes it close to the bush, it's done. I'm there.
It's there. Like you're
I'm
like,
all in. I'm
that
all
train
in.
is
No. He's all in.
He's all in.
that train is going, and there's no stops. Okay. Just checking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then to another our new super fan who binged watched all of our episodes of 2016, Samantha, who became a huge fan of ours, who is now in chat with us on Facebook. So, big shout out to both of you guys. You made our week, so we love you.
And a few things I missed in chat before, but Kelly Guy said, just noticed Alexia's sporting cleavage tonight. You
I
go,
am,
girl.
I'm wearing, I call this my Calypso top.
Because Calypso would wear shirt. I think her entire wardrobe is made out of shirts like
Yes, this is a Calypso top. Comes from Calypso. But yes, I do have cleavage. It's very rare that I do.
And then
got great
Vendetta
tits.
said today is a banner day. He doesn't think murder is an irrational fear. When I said I have the
Irrational fear of
getting-
murder?
Yeah. And by the way, I really did just read one today about one of the dating sites where this girl met up with this guy. Then she set up a second date, and while they were on the date, she planned to have him robbed, and the robbers killed him. And even though he didn't fight back and he kept saying, but I have a child, they murdered him.
Wow.
So again,
It goes both ways.
It does go both ways. Douchebags come in both genders. Or all
Right.
4 genders. I'm not sure how that works. But they come in all genders.
They come in human form.
Vendetta also said a lot of the BS is due to patriarchal conditioning. Dudes think they are owed something, and sadly, it just keeps happening. I had to tell a young lady that she doesn't have to apologize to dudes for not being interested in them.
Yeah, you don't have to apologize. You don't have to say, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. Because honestly, how often do we get messages from guys that just say, not interested? Not interested. No way. Although most of the time they just don't respond at all. Do you message guys first ever?
Not as much. I think it depends on where. I go
Well,
on 2 different sites.
If you want a lesson in toughening your skin, that'll do it. That'll do it. Even when they mark BBW, supersized BBW, plump or plush, or whatever they decide to mark on the body size they're willing to accept,
Right.
they're not. They don't mean it. They just check them all off in the hopes that someone will message
Right.
them.
It's like throwing shit at a wall.
Yeah. It's like throwing dick pics at a text message.
Yep.
One of these days, one girl's gonna love it.
So here's another reason why I love Vendetta so much, because he brought up the patriarchal regime that is holding down the women and think they're owed something. I love it.
Dudes do think they're owed shit.
Vendetta, you're the best.
And Vendetta.
We owe you a blowjob.
I will suck on some balls for him.
See?
I believe there is a rule here
That's right.
that we are not allowed to.
No,
We're not supposed to date our guests.
Those articles of incorporation don't exist anymore, y'all.
But it was always limited to guests. It was not limited to fans.
That's true.
We could do fans.
We're like, bring it on.
Groupies!
I did want to go back a little bit because you mentioned that you tell guys about the show before you even meet them.
I do.
Have them go watch the show.
I do. I feel it's easier that way.
But do you think that because of the topics that we talk about, I mean, I just said I was going to suck on Vendetta's balls, right?
Right.
Because of the things that we talk about, do you think that might make them think that you're ready to go? Like you're
No, I'm pretty.
you're one of those
I'm
kinda-
pretty clear. I'm not. So
I
don't.
Would you do anyone on the first date?
I'm not opposed to it, but I mean, it just has to. It has to feel right.
Yeah.
Remember, I know I don't know if we told the story
Remember?
recently,
I remember.
but do you remember the guy that you brought into the studio that one time? Didn't he, once he heard what our show was about, first of all, he wanted to get on the mic.
So let me tell this story. I signed up and paid for an honest-to-God motherfucking matchmaker. Like, I went in every month, handed her my fucking money order, looked through the lists of dudes she would hand me. I'd pick 3. I might get called by 1. Maybe. Right? Like, honest-to-God, matchmaker, make me a match. Like, that shit. This was the worst waste of money I've ever had in my life. So, the very first date she sends me on, was this guy. Yeah. So this guy is supposed to be a doctor, and he's supposed to be, you know, like super, not wealthy, but, you know, he is also paying for a matchmaker. And he pays far more than I do because...
He's a dude.
Right, because while dudes usually get the long end of the stick on some things, when it comes to dating shit, they usually get the short end of the stick. Like, dudes pay more for dating sites than we do, just so you all know. That's how it works. So he put, like, some serious cash into this fucking thing. And we meet up, and it's a first date, and he wants to meet at the Applebee's on that was, like, right across the street from the station on the night of our show, Sunday night.
Our original station.
Our original station. Our very, very first station. Like, this is first season stories.
This is before everybody became station sluts.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So we had only had one station, so we were still considered respectable.
Yes.
So he shows up to the date. I'm not surprised by this because I was well into dating at this point. Like, this was like a last-ditch effort. This, like, matchmaker service was the last. This is the matchmaker service is what made me sexually celibate for a year. So
that's so true.
It was the matchmaking
I completely forgot about
that made me sexually.
For the celibacy
I was like,
year.
that's it, done. Fuck it, dudes are out. Whole year. So he shows up in basketball shorts, a tank top, and slides. Not even flip-flops, but those fucking cheap-ass Adidas, because they ain't even Adidas, like Adidas slides at Applebee's. And then wants to split the check with me. Okay, I will give you the split the check thing, although I think I'm owed a little more since you showed up looking like you just dragged your ass out of a fucking brothel. Anyway. So then, I mean, we had a decent conversation, and I was a little put off by the things, but we talked about the show, and I was, like, trying to get out of the date because I needed to go get the show, and he's like, well, why don't I come with you? And I'm like, ugh, fine. Because if this doesn't scare him off, nothing will.
Right.
So I say, sure, but you're not going to be in the show. You'll just sit in the back with Alexia's boyfriend, and you won't be in the show. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine. We're like 5 minutes into the show, and he taps me on the shoulder, and I'm like, yes? And he's like, I got something to say about that. And I went, no. We didn't even let our board op on at the time. Thank God we didn't, because he's a fucking douchebag. But we didn't even let the board op on at the time. Silent Mike was silent. No, not you.
You're good.
Silent Mike was Silent Mike because he never wanted to be, because
he didn't want to be on the air.
There were no male voices on the show at the time. None. No male voices at all. It was just girls, and it wasn't even our faces. Our Ustream was tits down.
Yep.
Like, it wasn't even faces at the time. And so, you know, after he's like, well, I don't understand. Well, I couldn't have been. I was like, because it's our show about women talking to women about women things. Not about dudes who get upset because we call dudes douchebags because they showed up at first dates in slides and basketball shorts. I didn't hear from him for like 2 days. And then he sends me a text message. He's like, hey, I don't know, you know, like where you want to go with this or what you're looking into, blah, blah. And I was like, well, you know, I'm looking for something eventually to turn into long term, but I wouldn't want it to be like we're getting married next week or anything like that. You know, casually date for a little while, get to know each other, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, so, in text message, he says, so, do you want to be fuck buddies? Like, my immediate response was, no. I don't pay the kind of money I pay for a matchmaking service to just have a fuck buddy when I could walk into any bar or go on Craigslist and walk away with any dick I fucking wanted in a suit. 2 minutes. And I immediately took screenshots of his, because this is my very first iPhone. I took screenshots of those text messages, emailed them to the matchmaker, and said, if you ever set this dude up with another chick again, I'm going to make sure we all sue you. Because obviously you did not screen the motherfuckers like you promised you're going to be screening them.
So I learned, well, I didn't have to because I already had Silent Mike then, but I knew that no girl should ever mention the show until after they've been on for a while.
I feel
like,
it's easiest to get it out of the way. I really do. I mean, I did have a guy, I was talking to him for a little while, and I said, like, hey, let me tell you about this show. And then he's like, no, it's no.
He was no good. He was not okay with it.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we're vulgar. I had another one who said,
But that's okay though.
yeah, I'm okay with that.
But I mean, if you go along for a while and he really likes you, and then because of this show he doesn't want to have anything to do with you, then that's okay.
Right.
I found a good balance. So like I'd be willing to fuck him on the first date, but I didn't tell him about the show till the third date. By then they were invested in the vagina, and then they're like, well, maybe I can put up with the fact that you say douche and cunt and fuck and twaddle and all that other shit. We only have a minute. We don't have time for the curse word of the week.
I just don't want to censor myself later. Like, I don't want to feel at any point that I have to censor myself. Although I did have one guy go, I did check out an episode, and I'm like, oh, okay, which one? And he's like, oh, you talked about how you swallow. So, that
And
was
Did he
awkward.
want to date you more?
Tuxie takes it in the butt.
Those ones, too. That's always great.
Sunday, Old School
Brewing Company.
Brewing Company, 5 to 7, giveaways, food, beer.
We're not giving away food and beer.
No.
DI and Durango-ish.
Durango.
Yeah.
DI and Durango. You'll
So
see
come
it.
out for a live show. That means, well, Toxie's going to be in the audience with a mic.
And her ass for your lap.
That's right.
Bam.
And she's going to come out and she's going to ask questions, and you're going to be able to talk on the air and everything like that. We are going to be filming, so dress pretty, show some cleavage.
Show up in basketball shorts and slides, yo. Adidas.
Whatever works.
We're going to make fun of you, but do it.
What's our time?
We're done.
I stretched you.
This is Alexia.
This is Sierra.
Toxie.
We'll see you next week.
If you're brave enough.
Later, bitches!